Alright, so we're on our way to Ha Ha Tonka State Park. It's right here at Lake of the Ozarks. It's a beautiful state park. If you've never been there, you ought to put that on your bucket list. There's some really cool finds, a lot of great historic sites, some trails to explore. There's a beautiful spring up here. Anyway, so come along with us and we will show you some of what Ha Ha Tonka State Park has to offer. Traveling with ladies, first stop. One of the must-see attractions at Ha Ha Tonka is the castle ruins. That's a really neat story about the castle ruins. We'll learn some more about that as we get up here and get close to it. Let's make our way. Alright, so this portion of the trail leading up to the castle is almost a half-mile long, about a 20-minute walk, although there is a shorter access for those who can't walk that far at a time. You can actually drive up and drive around the park really close, and just a short 100-yard walk or so from the castle. But we're going to take the scenic route today.
What's that pretty trail?
So this wealthy businessman from St. Louis, Missouri, back in the early 1900s, he found this little place up in these Ozark Mountains, and he had this idea of an English-style castle. There's I think this is Carriage House. Was part of the Carriage House right up here, and there's the castle ruins up here. A lot of really, really neat old architecture. Check this out. Yep.
She'll be jealous.
Yes, she will. So part of the story is that this man, this businessman, had this rock quarry, and this is part of the trail where he had mules, and he had this little sort of rail system designed where they pulled the rocks up that they used to construct these buildings. There's a little portion of the rail system over next to the castle that's been preserved, and we'll check that out in a minute. But this is a lot of really cool artifacts and cool history here in Ha Ha Tonka State Park. Look at the view. And the lake is pretty too.
You see the castle out there? Look out there.
You can hear that spring running down there.
Mm-hmm.
Known as Archer's Big Spring, and its first post office was established in 1872. In 1895, the post office name was changed to Hawatonka and continued till 1937. Here's a picture of the old mill. In 1830, Mr. Garland established the first permanent.
Yeah. The one where you can see the spring is up behind the castle.
Right. The views here are amazing.
Could you go down there? Can you go right there?
Yes. Go ahead.
Okay. Ooh, what if I fall?
It'll be a long way down.
Give me a drink, huh?
Oh yeah?
See it?
Yeah. The spring is right down there. It's that blue, pretty aqua green, blue water, whatever color you call that. Almost turquoise. I don't know. I just know it's pretty. And you can actually drive around. You can drive around and park over there, and there's a hike where you can hike down along that where that spring comes into the lake. We're going to go there. We'll take you to that site as well. It's also one of the most beautiful places you'll see on earth.
Because you'll just
Anyway.
walk right by the spring.
Yeah. Anyway, there's Lake of the Ozarks,
And the castle.
and then the castle. I tell you, that St. Louis businessman had the right idea. This is a beautiful place. This is the castle.
I think the better views are around the other side.
Yeah.
The old gate.
What's the first thing about the castle?
I wish that we could have it and rebuild it and let our girls be the princesses that they really are. It's awesome. I wish we could go walk in it.
Yeah, that would be really cool.
That would be really cool.
Can you imagine in the early 1900s, all of this stonework? I mean, you know, you're not talking about modern power tools and modern mechanical lifts. You're talking about good old-fashioned elbow grease and hard labor to build this, and the structure for the most part still standing. There was a fire that destroyed it. It was used as a hotel later on, but anyway, it's still awesome, and probably the best parts of it are still here. All right, there's the spring.
You can hear it, to see it rolling right there.
Yeah.
Gonna walk right beside it in a few minutes.
Yeah. You can see a little bit of the walking trail way down, right across the spring down there. But right up where this water comes out of the ground underneath this, basically this mountain. I will look at the sign when we get there, but I forget how many thousands of gallons of water are coming out of the ground daily. So we'll check it out. But look at these views. That little kind of rail and cart system that was used to get the rocks up here. Really neat when you think about it. You can see this little bit of a rail system. There's this little cart that would have been pulled by mules full of rocks. And there's part of that trail where it came from further down the mountain there. But really interesting piece of history. So in 1903, Robert Snyder, he was a wealthy Kansas City businessman. He visited the area and he was so impressed that he began purchasing land to build this private retreat here. He envisioned a European-style castle with 60 rooms and a center atrium rising 3 1/2 stories to a skylight. He also planned a water tower, greenhouses, and stables. The materials were extracted from the area with sandstone quarried nearby and transported by mule and miniature railroad. The construction began in 1905, but was halted a year later with the death of Snyder in one of the state's first automobile accidents. Snyder's sons finished the structure in 1922, although not quite as elaborately as originally planned. The castle originally overlooked a small spring-fed lake. In the 1920s, the Snyders fought to stop the construction of Bagnell Dam, but they failed, which ultimately made Lake of the Ozarks, which actually really makes for a prettier view if you think about it. Eventually the property was leased for a hotel, but in 1942 sparks from a chimney ignited the roof and a fire gutted the castle. So basically this is what's left, these stone ruins, but it's still pretty awesome, pretty exciting. It is worth the trip to the Lake of the Ozarks and Ha Ha Tonka State Park to check out the castle ruins. So earlier, we were right up there on top of that cliff looking down here.
We see the otter.
Yeah, really. Yeah. There he is.
Oh, look.
There's one of the other lookouts where we were earlier. Look how pretty and clear this water is.
There it is again. We might could set up the
So according to this, the Ha Ha Tonka Spring has an average daily flow of more than 58 million gallons of water. That is amazing. The water temperature remains 56 degrees year round. Wow. That's amazing. Just up here, we're going to walk up closer, but that's where that water comes out under all this rock.
That's really deep water.
Yeah.
about this little thing you need to walk through.
Yeah.
Where's this thing? The top thing. There it is. So there's a castle up there. Could you imagine the view if that was your house? Way up there. Way down here to the spring.